Hello and welcome. This is going to be a reading for Sagittarius for the year 2023. Now I know we've already missed most of January, but I aim to do the best I can for the remainder of the year. So Sagittarius, welcome to the channel, and I do hope you enjoy the video. I have pre-shuffled the cards. I've got 3 decks on the table. I will lead out with a 10 card spread, 5 along the top row and 5 along the bottom row. I'll talk about those cards and then I'll overlay those with the second deck, and I'll use as many cards as I think I need to help clarify the reading. Okay, so the cards have been pre-shuffled. I'm an intuitive reader and I read in real time. So pardon me if I stumble on my words occasionally. That won't be edited out. You'll just have to try to make the best out of it. The flowers are from my garden and they're beautiful. We got lavender today. There isn't much else in flower right now, and the crystals have all been cleaned in their salt bath. So we'll start the reading in just a moment, Sagittarius. I do hope you're well. This is by request. Normally I don't do yearly readings, but it's been requested, so I thought I would do it for you. Okay. Let's start the reading. First card out, Ace of Swords in reverse, the Star in the upright position, Justice in reverse, the Magician in the upright position, and the 3 of Wands in reverse. So already we've got 3 very powerful cards on the table. I'll just give them a little bit more of a shuffle and we'll do the second row. Okay, second row we've got Temperance in the upright position, another powerful card. 5 of Wands in reverse, 8 of Wands in reverse, the Moon in the upright position, and the Queen of Cups in reverse. I'll do the bottom of the deck. I'll show you first. Okay, it looks like the Hermit in reverse. Yes, it's a Hermit in reverse, so I'll put him there. Okay, let's talk about these cards. I'm not going to break it down into bumps. I'll just read it as I see it, and we can see if there are any specific time points as we go along. So Ace of Swords is usually a breakthrough in your thinking, in clear thinking, something that suddenly comes to you as a flash, finding out the truth. It's in reverse. You could be taking a stance and deciding you're not going to move. That's also the possibility. It's like putting your sword into the ground and saying, I will not move from this position. And if you know you're right, that's fair, and that's probably a good decision to do. Usually this is seen as a little bit of a breakthrough from the cosmos, a little bit of divine assistance in helping you find the truth. But if you have decided you're going to stand your ground, you're going to stick with your viewpoint, that's fine, as long as you've done your fact-checking and you know you're in a solid position. Okay, if you already know the truth, hang in there. Maybe the circumstances around you are such that there are some untruths around you and you're determined to stick to your guns. That could be the case. Here we've got the Star. So this is a cosmic blessing, Sagittarius. So it does look like the cosmos is listening to you. This is a gift from the cosmos, a blessing that they're listening to you. The gods and your spirit guides are listening to you. They're hearing what you're saying and they're hearing what you're asking. Okay? Here we've got Justice. Justice in reverse. So justice is about finding balance and the truth. It's in the reverse position. Perhaps if you're in the middle of a legal situation, perhaps it's not going to go your way. We'll have a look, because you've also got the Hermit here in reverse. Now the Hermit has the cosmic star there. He has his enlightenment in his lantern. He's lighting his path, and he's trying to help other people follow the path. Following the path of enlightenment. We'll see if we can clarify this one a little bit more. This one can be quite a fixed position, perhaps being a little bit too rigid, perhaps refusing to see the other person's point of view, perhaps not looking far enough beyond your own circumstances. That could be the case too, being perhaps you could be maybe being too self-focused. That could be the case. Got the Magician here. Everything is possible with the Magician. He's holding his wand up, and he's making his connection with that cosmic star. With this wand here is connecting to that cosmic star. He's bringing the light down onto his table and onto the earth. He has everything at his disposal. He has white lilies, so he has pure intentions, noble intentions. Has the cup and the pentacle and his sword and his wand. With all of those things, as long as his sword is making connection to the cosmic light, then the magic will be performed on the table for you, and you will be receiving your divine blessing. The Three of Wands is usually about looking beyond your horizons. This is a card of success, going beyond the Two of Wands, taking the next step, wishing to broaden your horizons, looking at the world, wondering what you will do next. It's quite a positive card. It's in the reverse, so perhaps you are contemplating broadening your horizons, but you're perhaps not ready to take that step. Temperance here is about healing and finding balance. Balance within, balancing your spiritual life with your worldly life. Can be literal healing as well. Tells me here that the angels are listening to you. You've got the Star and Temperance, so you've got two angels on the table already. So it could be that you are on a spiritual journey and very much asking for guidance. Let's have a look. This is the Five of Wands. This can be turmoil and conflict. Can be inner conflict or external conflict. It's in the reverse position. In the reverse position, perhaps it's asking you to make sure you don't get involved in conflicts. This can be family conflicts. It can be colleagues with your work. They can be petty squabbles. And I guess in this situation, it's under the Star. And if you're following your Star and you're following your spiritual journey, it's perhaps asking you that if you see a squabble or a quarrel coming, to ask for assistance and perhaps pull away or step away from that quarrel. You always need to ask yourself when you see a quarrel. Sometimes you are drawn into a quarrel before you even know it. But if you get a hint of a quarrel, perhaps assess it, and is it going to be for your good? Is it going to be for the good of the other people? Is it worth getting involved? In the workplace, of course, petty squabbles are always going on. People are always claiming their territory, and often territory that's not theirs. Do you need to stand your ground, or can you just let it go? These are often messages coming in. Expecting a message, waiting for a message. It's in the reverse position. So if you're expecting messages to come in, perhaps you are looking for an opportunity. There's no sign so far of an opportunity. It doesn't look like there's any. What's on the table is not showing new opportunities, nor is it showing new love. It's actually looking a little bit static, even with the Ace of Swords and Justice and the Hermit and even the Magician. It's looking reasonably much the same throughout the year. There doesn't look like there's any dramatic changes. Even here with the Eight of Wands, it doesn't look like anything's moving quickly because this is in the reverse position. Here you've got the Moon. So the moon is always asking you to make sure that you are seeking clarification to whatever it is you come across. Are you able to mesh your conscious with your subconscious mind? Are you able to mesh your worldly living with your spiritual desires? This crab is going to have a metamorphosis. He is coming out of the water and he intends to walk that path. It's quite a difficult path and a difficult journey to find the balance between the pillars. You've got Justice here, again, finding the balance between the pillars. Never quite easy. And finding the balance here in Justice, the balance is finding the balance is in a seated position, so using the intellect to find your balance. Here, this one is asking you to use your intuition to find the balance. Now, I don't remember whether that was in the upright position. I think it was in the upright position. So, you know, here, if you're not using your, your mental faculties here to find balance, if that's difficult, perhaps then go within. Seek your enlightenment through your spiritual guidance. Use your intuition and you will find your balance. Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups is all about being able to love and give love and receive love. This is an exchange of love. It's in reverse. The fact that it's in reverse means to me that perhaps you're in a situation where you don't feel ready to exchange love. Perhaps you're still in the process of giving yourself love. And that comes first. If her cup isn't full, she can't reach out and broaden her horizons. And in this case too, if the cup is not full, you can't venture forward. You can't look to the future and embrace the future because you're still busy looking after yourself. And sometimes that takes time. Sometimes we've got time to heal ourselves. We've got Temperance here at the beginning. So finding that inner healing, that can take quite some time. It can take years. It doesn't necessarily take weeks. It can take years. So if you don't feel ready to move out and embrace the rest of the world or bring more people into your life, that's fine. Just allow it to be. Don't fight it. If if you have that inner turmoil with it, it only slows you down. Just accept it and let it be. Find that guidance. Let that star light your path. Okay, let's clarify these with another layer of cards and we'll see where it goes. The only one I'm a little bit confused about, I guess, is the Ace of Swords. And that would normally be finding the truth and knowing the truth. And it's in reverse. So I'm not quite sure whether, as I say, you don't know the truth about something. It's possible with the moon here, but I'm not getting that feeling. I'm feeling that perhaps you've just made a decision that you're not going to do things that don't feel right for you. You're just going to take every decision one at a time, make that decision, make it firmly, put your sword in the ground and stay there. And that's fine. Making that kind of a plan is not a bad idea. Particularly if you're trying to achieve something like inner growth or part of your journey, that's fine. But you do have two angels on the table, so that's wonderful. Okay, let's clarify this Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords, please, for Sagittarius. Okay, you've got the Fool in reverse. Okay, so this is the beginning of a journey. A carefree journey, a spiritual quest. He's wearing his garter around his neck. He has his companion here under the sun. He's carefree. He's committed to his journey. You can see he has a white flower in his hand. So it's the beginning of a journey. There is no contamination. It is a brand new start. It's part of freeing your heart and freeing your mind when you're starting a journey. So it's in reverse. So that is also, it has a very sort of a similar energy to this Ace of Swords in reverse. It's a clear decision to take that journey, that first step, but perhaps there's some delay this year in getting started taking that journey. And that's okay. You don't need to rush. The cosmos will help you here in this journey. I mean, you're under the sun, it's got golden light there. He's got the golden carter or his golden scarf flowing. And you've got the cosmic star here giving you some divine assistance and some divine blessings. Let's clarify this star. And as you can see, there's a little bird here. You take a look over here near the star, there's a little bird. So these are listening to the inner voice, your inner voice, your intuition. And that's the best thing you can do. There is no need to rush. If you listen to your intuition, make the plan and stick with it, that's fine. Let's clarify this star card. Okay, you've got the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is often about weddings and commitments and celebrations, but it's in the reverse position again. To me, in this card, I often focus on these domes here, these spiritual domes. And this can also be, because as you can see the golden light up here, this can also be, to me, about a spiritual journey as well as a physical journey. In the reverse, I'm not feeling that it's a commitment, a marriage or love or anything like that. It, to me, can be part of this spiritual journey under the star. I'll clarify that one a little bit further because, again, you've got these, can you see their free-flowing robes? Perhaps you'd like to have a partner to take this journey with, but unless there's someone who is on the same kind of wavelength as you, it's often a difficult procedure. Perhaps that's why you're delaying the commencement of your journey. That can be the case. And you perhaps are praying for someone to come along and share that journey. Very difficult to find a partner who's on the same wavelength at the same time if you're undertaking a spiritual quest. If you're not undertaking a spiritual quest, it's maybe not so difficult to find a partner, but that is the most difficult way to find a partner. Only because your spiritual journey is always undertaken on your own. As you can see, I mean, it's kind of like the hermit. He's undertaking his spiritual journey. He's on his own. It's only something that can be done on your own. You need to find that star, the cosmic star there, and follow that star. Okay, let's have a look at this Justice card. To me, I think perhaps this is, if this is the card of finding the balance, but because it's in reverse, I'm getting a feeling of perhaps maybe a little bit rigid in your thinking here, perhaps of what you expect, perhaps overly focused on yourself, could be. Let's have a look. Let's clarify Justice here. She's wearing red, so it's a very active procedure, and that can be the case. She's fully clothed and fully robed, just like the hermit, in full robes. So that's kind of like wearing when you put on your full robes to make a decision, you are taking it seriously. Again, this monk is clothing himself in humility and his loneliness. He is again being very committed to his decision. And even the Fool here, even though he's setting off carefree, he's committed to his decision. So it's that commitment. The magician, he wears his cape, his cloak. Again, he's committed to his decision. He's wearing his robes to say who he is and to tell the world who he is, and also to remind himself who he is. It's when I'm doing my readings, I wear my scarf as well. I wear my scarf around my waist, a little bit like these people. And that reminds me that this is part of a spiritual journey that when I'm reading the cards, it's not just a casual reading of the cards. I take it seriously, and I guess Justice takes it seriously. So does the Hermit. So does the Magician. Let's have a look at Justice. Okay, Queen of Wands. Highly fertile, highly creative, beautiful, beautiful card. Full of abundance. A lovely energy. Again, she's a queen. Justice is like a queen. So in this case, it's in the upright position. As you can see, the golden energy there. So that's beautiful. Oops, pardon me. Again, that's a very abundant energy. Very fertile and very abundant. So that Justice there, whatever journey it is you're taking. And yellow in the cards can often mean using your intelligence. She's wearing a golden crown that's showing her intelligence. So using your intelligence, perhaps to create your own abundance. Let's have a look. Keep going. Let's clarify the Magician. And again, the Magician has a lot of golden light, so this is a nice card to have. Not a negative card in any way. Full of golden light. Let's clarify the Magician. And in this case, the Queen of Wands, she's holding her staff upright. She is probably connecting to the divine cosmos, and she's the divine feminine. Beautiful, beautiful energy. Magician. Okay, Seven of Pentacles. It's taking a little bit of a rest from your earthly matters. Perhaps having a little bit of a time out to undergo a retreat. Time to go to nature, have a little bit of a holiday. Helping you to find your own path and your journey as you pause a little while and give yourself some reward, and give yourself a reward for all the things you've done. You need to acknowledge what good things you've done and what you've achieved. Sometimes we forget to do that. We're so busy achieving, we forget to acknowledge what we have achieved and how far we've come. Because the journey, it can be quite a long one. It can be arduous as well. It can be painful. So, make sure that you give yourself time to pause and reflect on what you've achieved so far and how far you've come. Okay, because it does look like you would like to take the next step, but for some reason you're not quite ready, and perhaps in 2023 you're not ready to take that next step. Let's clarify that card. I'll clarify the Three of... Oh, sorry, it's the Two. Here am I rabbiting on about the Three, and it's the Two. It's the Two. Do pardon me. Sometimes the other card has the third staff right there. But this is still a card about expansion. Can be making a decision. So I have read that wrong to you because it should be the Two of Wands. So I have read that wrong. I read it as the Three of Wands. And in the case of Two of Wands, it can be a decision. A decision about moving forward. And perhaps you're not ready yet to move forward. But you are considering your future and what you'd like to do next. I'm sorry I read that wrong. It's particularly difficult sometimes when they're in the inverted position, because you just focus on the wands and you forget to look at how many sometimes. Okay, so Two of Wands, let's clarify that. Okay, Four of Pentacles. So it's in the reverse position. And the reverse position, so Four of Pentacles can often talk about being overly focused on your money and your finances and your situation, and perhaps holding on a little bit too tightly. And if you do want to broaden your horizons, perhaps you do need to utilise some of your finances if you've got sufficient to perhaps utilise it to take the next step. It'll be a decision on your part as to whether you commit any of your finances on travel. This can be overseas travel or even a journey of some sort. Perhaps you're considering that. So that's fair enough too, you know, because if you have got some finances in reserve, this can also literally be about money, having worked hard for your money and having consideration as to what you're going to do with your money, but it's also about acknowledging what you've achieved. So perhaps here you are towards the end of 2023, perhaps you are considering whether you have sufficient finances to perhaps expand your horizons, perhaps do a little bit of travel. It does look to me like at this stage there's a feeling of being blocked, and that could be how do I put this? Perhaps not being willing to utilise your finances for what, you know, the money. Perhaps you've got limited resources, and perhaps that puts a block on your capacity to travel or broaden your horizons. Let's put it that way. That might be a better way of explaining it. Let's have a look at Temperance. Temperance is a beautiful card, a beautiful card of healing, having the angels there with you. Okay, you've got the moon. So you've got the moon twice, again in reverse. So again, I do think this is part of your spiritual journey, using your intuition. Be careful that you don't allow yourself to drift too far into your, how shall I say, inside your head, into your sort of illusions and spiritual journey, so that you become disconnected. As you can see, this angel, she has 1 foot on the land and 1 foot on the water. She doesn't become disconnected. She knows where she's going and she knows what she's doing. You do need to stay balanced. You do need to undertake that journey. Don't allow it to trouble you. Don't allow that journey to become a burden or something that puts you out of touch with reality. That's the other thing I can say. If you become too much out of touch with reality, you may lose focus on your worldly needs. You still need to be able to feed yourself. You need to be able to take yourself to the doctor and the dentist. You do need to put a roof over your head. So, you know, if you're too dreamy, perhaps too focused on your spiritual journey, perhaps you lose your focus on the need to take care of yourself. Okay, let's have a look at this 5 of Wands. Okay, 10 of Swords. So it's in the upright position. 10 of Swords can indicate that something's been painful, that you're coming to the end of it. Perhaps you feel that somebody's had a lot to say, or maybe many people have had a lot to say about where you are. Perhaps people have had a lot to say about you being difficult or quarrelling. That doesn't mean it's true, but it feels like maybe you've been listening too much to what other people say. But this can be a painful ending. It's in the upright position, and the fact that it's next to the quarrel card, perhaps perhaps previous quarrels are coming to an end. Perhaps they've given you pain and hurt. The quarrels are in the reverse, and it does look like it's come to an end, but that can be painful, particularly if the squabbles are amongst your family, maybe misunderstandings. It can be just basic misunderstandings when people don't understand you. That doesn't mean you've got to change your pattern or your methods. You know, often people don't understand you, particularly if you're undertaking a journey of some sort. And if you're a little bit different than the average, that's fine too. You don't need to be the same as the person next door. Let's clarify this 8 of Wands in reverse. It's a little bit of a strange card there too. I'm not quite sure why that's there. Let's have a look. Just like here, the Ace of Swords was more clear about this full journey, because this is independence, you know, being by yourself, standing your ground, being true to yourself, So it's sometimes a card on its own is a little bit difficult to read. Let's have a look at this Eight of Wands. Okay, Prince of Pentacles, so slow moving energy, which is interesting because this is normally fast moving energy. So now it's confirming that it's in the reverse. So slow moving energy, and this can be about earthly matters, money coming towards you, values, and it's showing me that things are going slower rather than faster in 2023. Probably particularly in the second half of 2023. Slow and steady, which is kind of good. So it doesn't look like anything is going to be rushing towards you and changing things. Let's have a look at the moon. And remember, this lobster, it's all about this lobster trying to find his way up through this path. It's quite a transformative, you know, it's about transformation, same as Temperance and the Star and even the Hermit. These are cards of transformation. It's quite difficult for the lobster to have to come out of the water, and he's treading quite a dangerous path for him. He's not used to this, and so he may feel quite insecure and quite vulnerable. Let's have a look at the moon. Okay, Queen of Cups. Okay, got the Queen of Cups again in reverse. So this is all about self-care and self-love. Okay, that's confirming it, the fact that they're two right next to one another. So you do need to make sure that you're taking good care of yourself, and that is taking care of yourself on an earthly level as well as on an emotional level. So, you know, take good care of the things you eat, the places you go, the air you breathe, the company you keep, how you nurture yourself. Give yourself time. If you like to meditate, or you like to do yoga, or you like to go swimming, or you like to go for a walk, give yourself permission to go and do those things. You're not being selfish. You're taking good care of yourself. That's important. So all of those things, taking good care of yourself, very important. And the cards here in reverse are giving you the little warning. This is actually, because they're in reverse, they're giving you the warning to make sure that you allow yourself that time for yourself. And that's towards the end of 2023. Okay? So don't feel that you're not meeting your obligations to the rest of the world by giving yourself some care. You need to take good care of yourself. And that's a distinct warning here at the end. So, okay, let's clarify the Queen of Cups. You're not denying yourself anything. You're not denying yourself love. You are actually just making sure that you are whole. You can't offer love to anybody else if you aren't whole in yourself. And if you aren't taking good care of yourself, you don't really have the capacity to welcome someone into your life. Okay, Nine of Wands. So Nine of Wands, you may be feeling a little bit weary towards the end of 2023. It perhaps feels like a bit of a struggle. Perhaps you've been on, you've got a project going, you've been working hard perhaps. The Nine is often sort of feeling weary, broken, a little bit wounded, but sometimes you've only got that little bit more to go. You may not have a lot to go. You may only have just that one wand, just needs to be carried just that little bit further. And here's the Queen of Wands, she's carrying her one wand. Here is the Seven of Pentacles. He's carrying his one wand, and he's having a little bit of a pause. You are allowed to have a pause and a rest. And here you've got to the point where you're carrying your 9 wands. Again, you need a little pause, a little bit of a rest before you make that last little commitment, put that last bit of energy in. Whatever it is you've got going, you may need to give yourself a little bit of a break just before you take up that last wand and move forward. Okay, so do consider here this finances as to, as I said, it feels like a block, and that block may mean that you haven't got sufficient finances, or perhaps you are putting yourself in a self-limiting position where you're choosing not to use your finances to broaden your horizons, but perhaps that's destined for the following year. That's a decision you need to make, and that's fine. You don't need to do everything at once. What you don't achieve in 2023, perhaps you may achieve in 2024 or the year after that. I might just clarify, actually I think this has clarified itself, so the Ace of Swords is being sort of independent. I think that's clarified itself. Oh, I forgot to look at the Hermit. Let's have a look now. I don't know whether it was in the reverse or the upright position, so I'll have a look at that. What have you got there? Oh, the Princess of Wands. Okay. I'm going to assume she's in the upright position. Oh, interesting, and it's followed by the star. Very, very good. Okay, so that's good. As you can see, she's in a very lonely, isolated, high up position. She's a little bit windswept. But again, it's that feeling of perhaps, bracing yourself against the wind to take up that journey that you're doing. If you have undertaken a journey of some sort, or you've got a project going, it can feel quite difficult to finish it sometimes. It feels like sometimes it feels like everything's against you and you're feeling very windswept. But this card is achieving something. You have achieved something. You've made progress, even if you feel a little bit windswept. The Queen of Wands is here, so standing in your power. Standing in your power, and that's what the Queen of Wands is doing. Standing in your power. Standing strong when the going gets tough. So when the storms come and it starts to get a bit blowy and people criticise you, you're standing your ground, standing proud, standing strong. I'm not quite sure where to put that one. I'll put that there. I'm not quite sure which one we could clarify. We could clarify this one. This one's a little bit odd here, but I don't know that it really needs any clarification. That's probably mid-year somewhere. But again, the timeline for this could vary, easily by 3 months in either direction, because this is a yearly reading. Let's clarify this Eight of Wands and the Prince of Pentacles. I don't want to make the reading too long. Eight of Wands and Prince of Pentacles. Just slow, steady energy moving in. This is my tarot cats. Quite like these cards. They're very clean, have very clean energy. Ace of Cups. Okay. Ace of Cups is overflowing love and energy, good times. Now, it's not showing here any love reading as such, and I'm placing it because it's under the Queen of Wands, and because it's slow moving, and because you've got the two Queen of Cups here. I'm thinking it's more about self-love, making sure that your cup is overflowing, taking the time, okay, taking the time, slow and steady through the year. Make sure that you are taking good care of yourself, all your needs. To bring in any other energy into your life, you do need to have very good care of yourself. Because otherwise, if you meet somebody, then you are very focused still on the things that you need to do for yourself. So make sure that you do take the time, go slow, no rush here. Be the Queen of Wands, stand in your power, take command of your heart and all your earthly things, and you've got the Hermit there, so it does look like you're lighting your own path, which is kind of lovely. Don't be under any illusions, to make sure that you remember to eat well. Remember to get your exercise. It isn't all about sitting and meditating and not eating. You do need to take practical care of yourself as well. Okay? You do need to visit the doctor occasionally. Make sure you eat well. Make sure you get your exercise. Okay? I'm going to leave it there because otherwise the reading will get too long. Thank you so much for watching Sagittarius, and I do hope that you'll tune in for your monthly readings, and I hope this gives you a little bit of an insight on, your need for self-love throughout the year. Bye for now.